Hi, my name is Harvey Goldman and this is my quick review and demo for the Ibanez RG421 1P03. And the RG has been around for a very long time, since at least the mid-80s in this form. And it is the go-to guitar really for anybody that's into rock, metal or even jazz fusion styles. Okay, so as you can see, this guitar is finished in a natural body finish. What you're seeing there is mahogany oil, and it is absolutely gorgeous. Rosewood fingerboard, obviously white dot inlays, and there are luminescent dots on the top as well to help you play it in the dark. Jumbo frets, and this guitar does have a dual humbucker configuration, single volume, single tone, and a 5-way selector. So positions 2 and 4 basically split the humbuckers and turn them into 2 single coils. Now the reason why I like a mahogany body is that they resonate so well. They've been a mainstay for Gibsons and other single cut style guitars for around the last 70 or so years. And in this case, because of the oil, it offers a fantastic way to see the natural grain of the wood. And if you get a good look at that, that is absolutely gorgeous. The finish obviously is exactly the same on the back of the guitar, and that you can see this has got the bolted neck, which means you've got great access to those high frets, obviously because of the enhanced scoop. Now the price range that this guitar sits at is usually around 350-ish English pounds, so about $390–400. You can find them cheaper again on marketplaces like eBay and Amazon. You can probably pick this up for around £200–250. It does have a wizard neck, which means the neck is fantastically thin, makes it really easy to play, really easy to get a grip around. As you can see, I've got quite big hands. My playing style is usually with my thumb hooked over the top like this. This gives me access to the E and the A for bass notes, and the rest of the fretboard for noodling and chords. The tuners, they are Ibanez stock tuners, no locking tuners on this model of guitar. So being this is a budget guitar, there are some compromises in terms of the equipment on it. So the bridge is just a very simple Ibanez F style bridge. It's found on most of their more affordable fixed bridge guitars. The pickups are Ibanez Quantum pickups, so again they're Ibanez's own design. You won't find DiMarzio's or anything of that nature on a guitar of this price. Now I have gigged this guitar extensively. Prior to switching over to LTD Evertune as being my main gig guitar, just for their tuning stability, you can see that I have worn the finish somewhat on this one from sweaty palm play. The guitar though, I gigged this probably for 3 years solid, and it never let me down. There were no faults. It came out of the box absolutely fantastic. One of perhaps 1 or 2 guitars that needed very little work in order to get it into a gig ready condition. Most guitars, as I've mentioned in previous videos, they generally all need something, and you can buy Ibanez Prestige and they still might come with frets that need leveling, or they've got sharp edges, or perhaps they've got crackly pots out of the box. This didn't really need anything. All I had done to it was I had the action lowered, and as you can see from this, you should be able to see, I like my action pretty close to the bone. I've also adjusted the pickup heights. You've got 2 screws on either side of the pickup. I've kind of sloped the bridge pickup a little further back on the bass end and a little further up on the treble end. And this one I simply recessed by about another 2mm. And that just comes down to personal preference and of course the settings on my pedal. Okay, so I'm using a Locato wireless system. The amp that I'm going to use is a Positive Grid Spark 40 watt with a touch of reverb, a touch of delay, and a amp model that's a bit like a Fender Reverb. I'm going to use the neck pickup, and I've got the tone probably dialed in about 50%, and the volume is on about 90. As you can see, the Quantum pickups really do pack a punch. I absolutely love the bassy tones. I am a massive fan of playing in the neck position. In fact, I've mentioned before, but I do play most of my solos in the neck position. I know it's a bit weird for most guitar players. I tend to try and drop treble in mid-off, and that serves my ends very well. So let's have a look at position, what I call position 4, which is this pickup split. So again, if I go back, you'll hear the difference. Let's put it back to position 5. You can hear that bass roll off. It gives it a much more let's try the middle position, best of both worlds. And you can see that's a lot brighter. Now for position 2. So we've almost lost all the bass. You compare that to position 5. Now part of that is because of what I've done to my pickup there. So generally, the closer you have the pickups to the strings, not only is there a danger that when you press a string down, it's also going to press on the pickup, but it actually reduces the volume slightly. You do get more volume and more gain, more presence in the pickup if they're a little bit further away from the strings, or at least that's my experience of it. So let's try the final position, position 1, which is the bridge pickup. This is where most people play their solos. I'm going to chop out some chords though. And you can hear, that sounds really glassy. And compare that to position 5. This is why I like position 5. Okay, so let's get into a bit of filth. This guitar, if you're not looking for a Strat, but you want something a bit pointy, a bit more versatile, a bit more capable, this is the guitar for you. They're very easy to play. They've got lots of sonic range because of the pickups and the way the pickups are split. And also they come in a huge variety of finishes. This is probably one of the very lowest end RGs that you can get. Obviously, the daddy of the RGs is probably the 550 Genesis. That's recently had a reissue. I believe Road Flare Red or Road Flare Orange, perhaps, is one of the new colours. And they are fantastic guitars. They come with all sorts of different configurations. You can get maple necks, ebony necks, rosewood. You can get roasted maple. This is the cheap and cheerful end. However, for £350, this guitar does play like a much more expensive guitar. And I don't think you'll find much better playability at this value with the other brands that you might come across. Brands like Fender, they've obviously got their Squire range. Epiphone are obviously a very affordable, sort of more generic version of Gibson. PRS, they do their SE versions. Some of those are now more affordable, though still fantastically good guitars. And obviously ESP have got their LTD range. So in the same way that car manufacturers, like for example, Lexus and Toyota, car companies do the same thing. So you've got the Tesco value version, and then you've got the finest range.